Who would you say is the best player you've ever played with?
Against, of course, Del Piero for Italians is an icon. So it's I do remember I didn't believe he would come and play for Sydney FC, but I was so happy when I had the opportunity to play against him.
Did you talk to him during the game?
Yeah. Not really during the game, but after the game I went to see him in the changing room, and I asked him for his jersey. I do remember they were not happy to see me in the changing room, especially, of course, we played the derby, and the rivalry, between Sydney FC and Western Sydney was big at the time, and but I didn't care because, for Italians to face and play against Del Piero was a fantastic experience, a fantastic memory for myself.
Welcome back to the last days of Rome. It's been a while. Have you been well? Have you been keeping well? How's the rash? That's good. In today's episode, I speak with Iacopo La Rocca, a former professional footballer, most well known for his time at the Western Sydney Wanderers, boo, Adelaide United, and Melbourne City. Disgusting. Iacopo was the first Italian to win the Asian Champions League, so of course we touch on that. We also touch on his experience working under Barcelona legend Guillermo Amor and what's required mentally to make it at the highest level in football. If you're a football fan, you'll enjoy this one. Iacopo, I wanted to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Let's start with the success you had here in Australia. So you won the A-League Premiership in 2013 with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Then you won the Asian Champions League in 2014 before winning the Premiership and the Championship with Adelaide United in 2016. What are your memories of those seasons and those teams?
Yeah, fantastic memories. I really enjoyed my time over there. So, especially at Western Sydney Wanderers, we did something special because build one team from the scratch and have so much success. It was a real. We did a fantastic in Australia, but what we did in Asia was unbelievable. I don't feel like any other teams now can probably do something similar.
You think it can't be done again?
No, I don't, of course I would love, but I feel like now the gap between the teams, Australian teams and probably, let's say, Chinese teams is like too big. And of course, with Central Coast, you can see they have had like a fantastic year last year. But in Champions League will be different.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you were the first Italian in history to win that competition. So does that make you extra proud, knowing that no one else from Italy has ever won that comp?
Yeah, definitely. It was something to remember. I feel like now Joe Inco as well.
Yeah, okay, so the second, yeah.
It's going to be after me. But it was different because, again, with winning with Western Sydney Wanderers was something special. He won with Al Hilal, that in Asia is one of the top biggest teams. Yeah. So it's always difficult to win, but again, it's probably you are more advantage. You have more possibility. And of course, I'm proud. I do remember with Nicola Topostelli, the captain of Wanderers, joking about that. To be the first Italian to win such an important cup.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, for people who aren't football fans, to understand the difference in wages, money, resources is astronomical compared, Australian clubs like the Wanderers compared to those in Saudi, Japan, China. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar squads. So it's such an incredible achievement. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it won't happen again. Hopefully it does. But just that, I mean, what are the differences in resources? And what does that do for players?
Okay, the salary cap already does help, to fill the gap. So it's already something difficult, for the teams, for Australian teams, and you had to travel, and travel every time from Australia to, let's say, to China, Japan. If you travel in economy, can be different. If the Saudi Arabian teams travel in business,
Private jets, maybe?
jets, yeah, it happened. So it's already an advantage for them. And where you have to play a lot of games in your competition, plus the travel in Asia, small difference make the difference after. So it's already something that we need to consider. The federation had to consider as well that you had to play and then you had to come back. I remember that we play in Japan and we had to travel 1 or 2 days after in Wellington. After Wellington, we had to travel to Perth. So if the federation already think that you can have you cannot have a success, it's something that you can help.
Yeah.
And, if the federation can extra help those teams, can be a little advantage.
Yeah, that's crazy. Going from Asia to Wellington to Perth. I mean, you're literally going around half the world to play a handful of games. Were you actually flying economy class? Is that what the team was doing?
Yeah, we flew to economy, but that was okay. Like we used the time, to just relax. But
You're not a short guy, though.
yeah,
That's
that's
not...
the only problem was that. Like, of course, you would prefer to fly it in business, but we had to understand as well the budget. So we didn't complain once. So that's why we were so strong as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about complaining, but just sort of thinking about what your opponents had instead. Like you were saying, business first class, private jets. I mean, you were underdogs and did something incredible. But we've spent too much time talking about Western Sydney. Let's switch now to your time at Adelaide. And let's go straight to the 2016 Grand Final. You started in that game. You played the whole game, or did you come off?
No, I played
You played the whole game. I thought so. Okay. Considering how things left off between you and the Wanderers, what was that Grand Final like? Was it weird to play against them? Did you enjoy it? What was it like for you?
For me, it was just an extra motivation because I would love to stay again still at Wanderers because I enjoy a lot my time over there. And but for some reasons I had to leave. And of course, the opportunity at Adelaide came, so I was so happy to take it. And we did extremely good, during the season. We didn't start very well. I don't know if you remember.
I do, yeah.
And but we finished very strong. We had a fantastic team and played the final, the grand final against Western Sydney Wanderers. Gave me an extra motivation to performance even better, even more. So I want to prove to them that they were wrong, and with the help of the team, we had the win.
That felt good to do that.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. What was that game like at the stadium? Because unfortunately, I had to watch that from overseas. It looked like an incredible atmosphere at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, like I feel like the Adelaide was waiting about this type of the game for a long time. So the atmosphere was real. I don't know, more than 50,000 possible.
It was over 50. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was packed the stadium, and that's why the players play for the fans, and. Of course, they have an extra motivation themselves to play for, let's say, for the contract, for the families, because they love, they have passion for soccer. But at the end of the day, it's like you want to make fans happy, and I feel like everyone played with the intent to win the game because we play at home, and we perform our best.
Incredible performance. Yeah, it felt just, I'm sure it was an incredibly difficult game, but just watching it, it felt like you guys were in total control from the very beginning. I knew we were going to win just very early on, maybe because of the Isaias free kick, maybe that sort of sealed it, but it just felt like we couldn't lose. Or I say we, it felt like you guys couldn't lose. Did it feel like that on the pitch?
No, yeah, you're right. Remember, I feel like even the coach helped on that as well, because it was very relaxed, and they gave so much. No, even we didn't need a lot of motivation. So like was more. We knew that what to do it, and we were very comfortable. So I felt like we knew that we had a strong squad. So like the first goal helped to relieve, like to be a little bit more relaxed. The second goal was unbelievable, and gave an extra motivation. And of course, like second half, probably we start a little bit with the intensity you should expect, especially in a grand final. But and of course, the Wanderers had to do something because they were 2-0 down. And after the 2-1, probably you start to be a little bit anxious. But again, we knew that we had the quality to keep going until the end. The extra goal at the end gave the possibility to lift the trophy at the end.
Yeah, and quality off the bench as well. Pablo Sanchez seemed to almost score every time he would come on as a substitute.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was very cool. What was it like playing under Guillermo Amor? What was he like as a manager? And what was it like for you working with one of the greats of the game?
Yes, like I would say, it was very calm. So he was different to the previous coach I had in my past. He didn't have to yell. He didn't have to scream. Because already I feel like, okay, when you had an history as I am, to be a legend for Barcelona, and I feel like you have already a good starting point. With the players, you already have the credit to play at such a high level. So I feel like as a player, so you want to learn from him every day, and you can learn. Actually, the reality was like you can learn every day. So it wasn't like desperate at the start. After, like, I don't remember, probably it was like 5-6 games when we didn't win, because he trusts on his process, on his philosophy. So we trust us as well. So that's why when we had the first win, everything was like a flow.
So he didn't panic. Didn't let bad results dictate the way he played, which is kind of interesting because I don't know if you follow the Premier League at all, but that's going on at the moment with Ange Postecoglou. He has his style. Do you follow the Premier League at all?
Yes, I do follow.
He has his style. The results aren't going his way, and it seems like there's a lot of pressure on him at the moment. What do you make of that situation?
Oh, he's okay. Ange is like the best Australian coach, and he showed already in Australia, in Japan, in Scotland. And now he got a difficult job. Tottenham, we have to be honest, he didn't win nothing, like in his history. So it's quite difficult. But again, it's more from the fans, from the players, trusting his philosophy and stick with him. I feel like probably I read something not long ago when he say he used to win on the second year. So I do believe that he's gonna do well. But again, Premier League is the most difficult league in all world. So it's challenging, but he loves the challenge. So I feel like he's gonna have success.
Yeah, I hope so. I feel like that quote that he always wins something in his second year, they're starting to use it against him now. And
okay,
so it seems like pressure's building, but I don't think his job's under threat yet. But before we return to you and your career and your thoughts on football, an hour ago, the Socceroos just announced that Graham Arnold has stepped down. I don't know if he's stepped down or he was let go. I'm not sure of the details yet, but do you have a reaction to that? Do you think that's the right decision?
Actually, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But of course, as a coach, you had to judge. You are judged about the results, especially when you have when you have to coach a national team. It's quite difficult because you are not there every day. So he didn't have good results. The last two, they were against Bahrain, and they lost against Bahrain, and drew against Indonesia, probably, yeah. And they are not the best team in the groups. So, like, the expectation for Australia, especially after the World Cup, was a little bit higher. So, probably he decided to step down because he did feel like he could not implement something different. He could not give something more. So we don't know the real story. And again, it's probably not probably it's his decision. So we need to respect. But again, he had big success. Like in Australia, he done fantastic with Central Coast. He done a fantastic job with Sydney FC. And as well in the last World Cup.
Our best World Cup ever.
Best World Cup ever. So it's quite interesting. Like now I'm very curious who is going to be the next.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Who's going to be the next, you know?
I heard that, this will never happen, but I'm just going to say it anyway, that Jurgen Klopp took meetings with the USA job, but instead they went to Pochettino. So clearly he's looking for a job. That would be the most amazing appointment ever. Jurgen Klopp at the Socceroos.
No, it would be amazing.
Would be. It won't happen.
No, it will never happen. I don't feel like.
Let's return to you and your career. Talk to me about how the opportunity to come to play in Australia presented itself, and what were your expectations of both the country as a place, but also the football here? What were you expecting?
Like, I need something new. I was in Switzerland. I was playing Super League with Grasshopper. And I had a couple of in Switzerland, but I wasn't happy about. So, like, my agent came and asked me, "Are you interested to go and try the experience in Australia?" I said, "Why not?" Because back then, okay, still now, my English wasn't the best, and I say, "Yeah, it could be a fantastic opportunity for myself," and I never looked back because really from the first day I enjoyed my time. I remember my first day we were in Brisbane for the camp, but I enjoy especially be around the boys. Big coach from Popovic that I still remember one of my best coach of ever.
Yeah, what was he like to work with? He seems like a very intense guy. Almost a little bit scary in a way. Were players afraid of him?
Like, yeah, he was very demanding, like, yeah, intense, but now that I'm a coach, I took a lot from him because I always ask myself questions before I go on the pitch, you know, like I would say before I want to play for myself, for my family, but do I want to play for my coach as well? And in that case, I really want to play for him as well, to don't let him down, and that's why I like everything from him. You know, from the motivation, from the before the game, the intensity, the passion he put in the trainings was unbelievable.
So as a player, you found yourself liking him, and that's why you wanted to play for him. Like, what was it about him that made you want to play for him as opposed to other coaches?
He was very, very honest. Like if something he didn't like, he asked you to come in his office, and it was very direct. And from the start, he asked about to be professional, to drive, to bring intensity in every training. So for me, it was or white or black. Like if you want to play for him, you need to performance. You need to be professional. You need to look after yourself in terms of everything, like food, sleeping. So that's why I want to play, and I had to try to tick all those aspects. And I don't want to be in his office, you know, to talk with him. So because I know that it was always right, you know, like. So that's why I try to don't let him down.
It's almost like being at school and getting called into the principal's office.
Yeah.
You want to try and avoid.
It was unbelievable. Like, you're right. Like it's scary sometimes, but again, if you do something that is asking, like you're gonna play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what was the quality like? Were you surprised by the quality of the players? What did you think it was going to be a lot lower quality compared to Switzerland? What were your expectations? Like how was it compared to what you were expecting?
Like I knew that it was more physical because especially when you had to play in summer, it's quite difficult. So when you had to play in Perth or Brisbane, even in Sydney, Adelaide as well, it's not easy. That's why you need to be so fit, and that's already it's a big difference between Switzerland and Australia. The other difference was like the quality of the young players because in Switzerland, let's say like they start to play same as Italy. Like they start to play with the youth very young and be in the system in quality academies, so make the difference. And that's why they give more opportunity to young players and they have more opportunity to performance like earlier. And after, to have another opportunity, let's say Bundesliga or another league, Dutch league, Belgian league. So, and especially Europe is different already because there are so many opportunity closer to you compared to Australia. And I was a little bit surprised, but not really because again, yes, physicality was a major difference, but the players were good as well. They were quality. And because again, for the decision of the Papa to make to sign was good decision. What made the difference, for Western City Wanderers.
Would you want to see the A-League change to playing during the winter? Because a lot of people just assume that if we play in the winter months, we'll never be able to compete with AFL and NRL. But like you said, it makes it more difficult, probably affects the quality as well, right? The ball travels slower, players are struggling physically more. I mean, would you be in favor of changing it?
Would be different, definitely. Like I was saying, I do remember one interview again of Gallas when he went and played for Perth. He was so surprised, to play because there were break during the half. So he was struggling a lot. And if you go to YouTube, it's quite funny. But of course, in Australia, it's quite difficult. Like you can't compete with the other sport, like AFL and rugby. They still have the priority. So the quality reflect because if you play in summer, it's especially in some cities a certain hour because the TV have the priority. It's difficult, but I don't see that something that could happen like to change. The competition played in winter, so unfortunately we stay the same.
Yeah, fair enough. Who would you say is the best player you've ever played with? Or if you want to name a couple.
I play with or play against?
Or both, but start with.
Like, no, Shinji Ono, I didn't know him at the start, but it was different player. And you could see even the quality from Aaron Moy, that he was young when he came at Western Sydney, but you could see in trainings that he has something different. And after he showed big stage in Premier League in Scotland, and then with Socceroos as well. But Bruno Fornaroli is good. I feel like he could have a different career if probably when he started, because he did play in Serie A, but probably he was young when he went to play there in Serie A with Sampdoria. But he's a fantastic player. And against, of course, like Del Piero for Italians is an icon. So it's I do remember was I didn't believe he would come and play for Sydney FC, but I was so happy when I had the opportunity to play against him.
Did you talk to him during the game?
Yeah. Like not really during the game, but after the game I went to see him in the changing room, and I asked him for his jersey. I do remember they were not happy to see me in the changing room, especially, of course, we played the derby, and the rivalry, between Sydney FC and Western Sydney was big at the time, and but I didn't care because, I would say, for Italians to face and play against Del Piero was a fantastic experience, a fantastic memory for myself.
He came at the end of his career, but was the quality still obvious, like having to mark a player like that?
Yes, of course, the difference of the age, when he was at Juventus was at this peak of level. So you can see he probably didn't run as much, but again, when he had the ball between his feet, you could see he could probably find a solution, find a run that we can see. So you need to be extra concentrate because you have to expect something different from those type of player.
Yeah. What do you think? So to make it as a professional footballer, obviously you need athleticism and technical ability with the ball. But what about mentally? What are the qualities you need to make it at that level?
No, mentally play a big role, especially if you want to have a long career, if you want to play a high level. So it's an aspect that now as a coach I had to consider a lot because for myself as well was very important because yes, I had quality, but as a defender you need to be probably extra, let's say, concentrate. So, and the mentality play a big aspect. So that's why as a player it's something that you need to work on. I don't know, find the solutions on yourself, or maybe now there are clubs that at the top level, but not really. In Europe now, most of the clubs that are working on that, on the psychologist way. So because they know that can make the difference and can be let's say 10%. That is already on top of other aspects that can improve the quality of the performance.
I also imagine, when you make a mistake as well, it becomes really important not to get in your own head and keep making mistakes over and over again because of that. I mean, if you ever made a mistake on the pitch, how did you prevent yourself from getting in your own head?
No, I did make many mistakes, on the pitch. So and more you go with age, more you learn, from your mistakes. I was the type of player that I go too hard on myself because I had a lot of expectation on my quality. So I did watch my game. Let's say we play at 7:30 after the game. Went home and watched straight after my game because I want to improve from my mistakes. And sometimes I would say I go so hard that after when I watch I say I did not play so bad. So I try to play very simple at the start, and then when I build my confidence to risk a little bit more. But especially at the end of my career, I try to enjoy even more, because I knew that probably I couldn't play for longer. So I try to be more relaxed, enjoy more, my time, be around the players, be in a beautiful stadium. And that's why I feel at the end I was more relaxed and I performed even better.
You've got your UEFA B license, right?
with A license.
Oh, you've got your A. Okay, because online it says B. So when did that happen?
Was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I went back to Italy and yes, I done my A license now.
All right. Well, whoever does your Wikipedia page, it's a note for them. So is the goal for you one day management? Is that something you would want to do?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I was always interested on that. That's why I was lucky enough, to be coached, from some very good coaches. So I try to take, everything from them. Of course, everyone have their own personality. I can be probably like Popovic, but maybe like Patrick Strombo. But I'm different in my way, and like I went to Italy because I feel like it's the best way to get the license. And
Why Italy and not somewhere else?
no, Italy is everywhere in Europe. We know that Italy is like one of the best, give one of the best opportunity, for coaches. Of course, now it's quite different. But if you see the history of the coaches, the Italian coaches made big influence all around the world. So because they came from Coverciano, where they are very focused on improve coach, it's not easy to get in. So it would be easy, to have the opportunity in Australia, but that's why like Australia for me should improve on that, because of course if you have passion for something, of course you need to go through, but like it doesn't mean anything. Like I have passion for music, but I can be a teacher for music. So like, and Australia made it quite simple. Like, I don't want to say like if you pay, you get in, but it's
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that. So it's for me, it's not right. There it's different because you have to play. You have to have played a certain level. You have to for a certain years. And otherwise you don't get in.
Interesting. So you had to have a professional playing career to get into that. That's kind of weird though, because there's a few managers around the world who never played professionally. So those managers wouldn't have got in the Italian system then.
Yeah, like there are two ways to enter. Like they made a little bit simple, not let's say simple, like for who had a career as a football player. But again, you have the possibility to enter, like, let's say, if you were the assistant coach for many years for another coach, already make yourself in a certain position, and then they give points, and if you reach some certain points at one time, you could get in.
Qualify.
But that's why probably it's different. Like in Germany, it's not like that, and there are coaches that they never play a certain level, and they are fantastic coach. But I'm not saying that if you didn't play, you can be a fantastic coach. But for me, it made a difference. Like because again, you experience something that probably we didn't play a certain level, never experienced.
I know we played German second division. I don't remember if we ever played Bundesliga, but definitely second division.
Second division. Mourinho didn't play, and
Andres Villas-Boas.
So there is opportunity as well. But I feel like if you played and give an extra advantage.
Have you learned more about the game now that you've studied the theory? Because it's weird, because you played professionally for a long time. When you were doing the course, did you kind of know everything anyway, or has it changed the way you look at football now?
Yeah, definitely. Like because like you don't think as a coach. Like there are so many aspects that you have to consider, especially now. You need to be more as a manager. That let's have a look. Like the clubs now, there are so many people like in the clubs, from the board to sports science, psychologists, doctors. So you need to think outside the box, and it's not easy. And to get the badges there gave me the opportunity to learn about all those other aspects. Like there were hours where you need to be, you learn about medicine, you need to learn about psychologist, and it's very important. Like it's clear, open your mind, and I feel like it's something that if you want to be a successful coach, you need to do it.
Now, this year was the first year you put all of that into practice at a competitive level with the Preston Lions under 23s. How did that go in your view? How do you sum up this season? Finished fourth, and you had the best defense in the league. So, as an Italian, did that please you?
No, it pleased me. Like, of course, for myself, doesn't make the difference. If I win the league, I'm more happy about my players. Like, my expectation is winning the league in under 23s level. I did start, my career like in the junior, with
at City.
At City, and I feel like it did help me, at the start, especially helped me to understand that I want to like coach in my future like a senior level. But I feel like for myself, especially starting under 14, after under 17, and after under 23 at City, helped me a lot, especially being there where everything was completely different at Preston. Like everything was already set up for coaches. You have the best facility, and you can have access to all the research because of course they have the connection with Manchester. It helped me, but I feel like this year, like Preston helped me even more to be out, to be in that environment. And of course, I will say I'm proud about this year with staying in this environment because there were very good people, and I did enjoy my time, and it was competitive, especially for the players. Play against elite clubs was good.
Yeah, nice. I should have just quickly asked you about this before when we were talking about the mental side. Football's unique compared to other sports in that the crowd can often be more hostile. How did you react to that? How easy was it, or how difficult was it to shut the crowd out, especially when you're away from home and they're maybe jeering every mistake you make or wanting you to fail? What was that like? How did you deal with it?
No, like more you go with your age, like more you have experienced something like that, so it's quite normal. Like, when you play away, it's the reality is like that. So you try to be just focused on your game, on the structure from the coaches. So you don't really care about what's happening outside. But there were moments that, of course, when there are stadiums that they're very close with no, how you call, like
Barriers?
You can hear more. But sometimes it's funny, you made a laugh, depending like of the personality of the players. Like sometimes you can joking back. So it was not something that did really care about.
Would you say the Sydney Derby was the fiercest rivalry you played in?
Yes. Like the atmosphere was unbelievable. I still feel like. Because Wanderers made unbelievable. Even when we play away, it's because, the fans for Wanderers came like a lot.
The travel, yeah.
The travel was, because they made special. Because I do remember, CDC, when they play home, the atmosphere wasn't the best. But when we play at home, Parramatta the atmosphere was unbelievable. And like I I do remember, the derby with good memories. But again, like let's say probably the game where I played, where the atmosphere was unbelievable, was the final there, the Champions League final. And I do remember one game in Istanbul against Galatasaray in the old stadium. Alisa Miyen was unreal.
Was this who was this for?
This was in UEFA Cup, like
For Grasshopper?
for Bellinzona.
Okay.
But really, the atmosphere over there was
They're crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It literally was crazy. Because, and I read one interview of Paolo Maldini that was saying the same things about the atmosphere he experienced in Turkey was one always peak.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I'd love to go and see a game one day. But Iacopo, thank you so much for coming on. I wish you all the very best with your future coaching career.
Thank you very much again for having me.
Did you enjoy that? Well, then why not subscribe? What's wrong with you? This is why people are worried about you, the choices you make. Click the little subscribe button and make people proud.